Dun, 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 dun. Boom.
Did you actually like?
Yeah. Yeah.
I do it. Yeah. Shut up. It just
Does it
gets
all
me
the
into
time.
the. It,
I mean,
Yeah.
All right. Hey, man. Whatever you. Let's start.
Yeah, it's time to begin.
All right, we're gonna start with that. G'day, guys. Welcome to the Voice Chat Podcast, episode 7. I'm your host, Maaz from TheAMaazing.
I'm Laddi.
I'm Rushlight Invader.
I'm Curt from Curtrichy.
Yo, it's me, GetMadz from Maaz.
Bro.
Okay. Hey
Guy.
guys, it's me, Mads from GetMadz. Lol.
And he's the editor, and this
Yeah.
this is when the editor thing pops in. It's
Yeah,
just
I mean, I'm gonna have
the
me
editor.
twice.
Way to go, bud.
You made it.
I also love, Curt, that your mic cut out as you introduce yourself, so
Was
it just sounded like, "Hi, I'm Curt Richie." I'm like,
Potato,
okay.
potato. That is my channel. It's just cut.
Oh.
And that's it.
That's
It's
it.
not-
It's-
yeah, I'm
that's it.
I'm going through a whole branding
That's what he's
thing.
well
You know
known
how it is. I'm cut.
Before the podcast started, I yelled, "Let's get it!" And Curt, that was not good. That was not good. Not a good way to start.
See, now you cut out, and I didn't hear a word you just see. Oh
no,
God.
let's get it though.
Oh no!
All right,
Yeah, I
no.
heard it, and I was greatly disappointed that that's how we had.
Wait,
that's the
what?
foot we
Okay.
had to start off on.
Well, I listened to the actual song "Little Pump." Let's
Oh,
get
yeah.
it like a few days ago.
not a bad song at all. Bang.
No, it's pretty lit, man.
you sure
it's
about
It's
that?
lit. It is lit. No, it's catchy. It's catchy. It's
Yeah, but
not
all-
my
that's
type of
all the
rap, but it's
songs are.
catchy. Yeah.
Gucci
Like
gang,
catchy?
Gucci gang,
Yeah,
Gucci gang,
okay.
Gucci gang.
Yeah. Yeah. It's mumble rap.
Kurt,
it's
we
like
should
that
have
type of
done
music.
a parody at VidCon.
Of
Let's Get
what?
It.
No, actually no. But even before you said what it was, no. What
do you mean?
Terrible idea.
It would've been
Terrible idea.
fantastic.
This man Mads wanted me. What? You wanted to give me a sandwich.
Okay,
And
okay,
he
no, this
wanted
is
me to
part of the
say.
skit.
No.
So I
Let me
was-
explain now. Let me explain now.
I have to give context.
No context needed, because this is how it's presented to people. You asked me to take a sandwich and be like, "Yo, Curt, when I give you this sandwich, I want you to say, oi, this tastes weird." And then I open it and it's a DVD copy of Ants inside. What was the point?
Good
What was that?
idea.
What? How?
I thought it was a fantastic way to start off my vlog.
How?
I thought it would be good. He denied the offer. He would have
That's
been in the spotlight.
I was.
I
wasn't
love
ready.
Maz that
I
you
wasn't
say
ready
that
for it.
as if like like as if a normal person wouldn't deny that.
It's
He's like,
fantastic.
"He
That would
he denied the offer."
that would captivate. That would captivate my audience in that first 5
Yeah,
seconds.
captivated. I wasn't that captivated by it.
Kurt-
At the least.
You're missing
It
out.
feels like, so the audience doesn't know, but Kurt's okay. Mads made one joke about ants, like ANTZ or Z, and that was enough to send Curt into a spiral of depression, basically.
Oh yeah,
And-
I was
Or-
depressed
It's
for
an
sure.
ongoing.
yeah, like
inside
well,
joke.
further into depression. Yeah,
Yeah, further into my depression. Yes.
yeah, and so that's why you can't bring up ants. But the thing is, like like, it's getting to the point now where if we mention ants and just ants in general, you just get sad.
I just
Listen,
you can physically hear his head shaking just by the gusts of wind.
because you've taken it so far, Matt.
No, I didn't.
So far.
Look, the big brown. Look, okay, well, I have to give context. So one day, all right, I was trying to
here
find
we
a
go.
funny meme, and I was on Google Images, and for some reason I had ants Google searched, all right, and I randomly came across this image. I'll put it up on screen. Actually, I'll try and find it now.
God.
And basically, the entire image was just full of ants. So it was just the color brown. And I put it in the chat and I said, guys, do you want to see the color brown? And I posted it. And then instantly, chaos pursued. And Curt started dying of laughter. I found it. Okay. I'll put it
No,
in
but
the
all right, I think you got the wrong reason why it was funny. It's because we were talking about something completely different. And then, like, we were talking about, I don't know, like, we could have been talking about
just the color brown.
Listen, we could have been talking about, like, the fucking weather. And then this man was like, "Oh, you want to see the color brown?" Like, where did that come from?
I told you again. I had a Google search and I was just scrolling through.
What?
This is therapy for you two. We married couple.
and he
This is-
Jiminy Christmas.
for some reason he thinks A
is
Bug's Life.
so
Okay, I'm gonna be serious for a second. Ants, for real, guys, is actually a really good movie. Okay.
It is. I agree.
And it's
It is, yeah.
and it's a lot
I
better
only
than Bug's
dislike
Life.
it. I only
And Curt-
dislike it
and I really
because
want to
of
show
Maaz.
this. I really want to show it to Curt and say, you know what, Curt? It's actually a really good
It's
movie.
getting to the point though, where just any mention of, like I imagine you, Curt, just sitting in the new Ant-Man, and you're just sad. You just
Oh, yeah, I
just
was-
angry.
I was living. Honestly.
Yeah, man.
No.
Curt, I don't know
You
how you
turn to
managed
your
to make that
friend.
video.
Just turn to your friend.
But
at the
to
theater
be
and, like,
fair,
look
all right,
around.
A Bug's Life has a 7.2 on IMDb, and Ants has a 6.6.
You
I
can't
just
just
wanna
measure
throw that
stuff
out
off
there.
of bloody numbers.
I just
You
want
silly
to
man.
throw that. I'm just throwing that out there. There's one measure of how good it is.
But
I'm
did
just
you,
saying.
all right, what about Rotten Tomatoes? Because Ants
Rotten
is a
Tomatoes, man.
96%.
It's got a 92, so we'll call it even. One's
Got-
a little higher on the other spectrum.
But guys,
okay.
you gotta listen. Undercover Brother has 5.8 out of 10, and
Bruh.
it's still amazing.
film of the year.
Yeah.
No,
How
it's
can a movie
Osmosis
rated
Jones.
So low had the best goddamn movie, huh? That's what I thought.
Did you know that before I watched Undercover Brother, I used to make the joke, like, I used to, I as a brown man, I get told to eat curry a bunch of times, and I used to be like, well, yeah, well, what do white people eat? Mayo sandwiches? And I used to say that just genuinely, and then I watched the movie, and that's like a thing.
Yeah.
White
Oh,
people
you
eat
know
mayo
that?
sandwiches.
Yes, that is like an actual real stereotype. Not a known stereotype, but a stereotype for sure. Like,
It's like it's
Dude.
like when you find most people of Caucasian culture tend to find a taste in spicy food, and my personal favorite spicy food is lightly salted chips.
Mine are
think it's
water. I love me some
Spicy
Water is
food
pretty
is salt, bro.
Salt?
Salt's not spicy. We do.
No, but it's a
Listen, I, like,
meme.
once
It's like
said
a meme.
white people
Once I saw
everywhere.
a white person cooking, they're like, "Yeah, man, we're just cooking some spicy meat." They're just throwing pepper on it. I'm like,
Yeah,
"What?
exactly.
This is just pepper."
That's like the
what?
meat.
What is this?
This is just pepper.
I wish I
This whole podcast.
wish I was memeing. They were just adding pepper, and I was like, "This is what?"
Alright,
This
that's
whole
actually a bit
podcast
goofy.
is just gonna be a white people bash. They're like, oh,
Yo,
the
alright.
voice
No,
chat
that was
is
the last
racist.
episode. We already did that.
2018. Oh, I see. This is a
you're
common
continuing
theme
the
here.
trend. There's a streak.
Yeah, well, episode 6's title
Well, I'm
was
glad-
literally "The whites are back at it again." It's like
Serious.
The caucasity of this.
the audacity of their caucasity, right?
That should be the title of this.
Oh man, why didn't you bring me on that one? I'm just kidding. I'm not. I love white people. I love everyone. That
I
sounds
love the
worse.
fact also that 3 of the people on this podcast are white, and they're just going along with
Yeah,
it.
like,
They're just
yeah.
It's good goof. It's a good gaff. It's a good bit.
You're the whitest one of us
Dude.
all.
Yeah.
Do you guys
What do you
enjoy the
mean?
mayo sandwiches?
White. Oh, the Vegemite.
Oh, dude, did you guys
I
try some
liked the
Vegemite?
Vegemite. Yeah.
What is
I
Vegemite?
didn't.
It tastes like
Honestly.
salted pretzels. That's what it tastes
Just-
like. Just tastes like pretzels. That's what.
I think
Yeah.
it tastes to like the next generation of salt. It feels like a level up above salt.
The
in my
next
eyes.
generation, like it evolved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an
Into-
evolution
Yeah.
of salt.
Your
a brown-
your,
That's
your
spicy
salt
for
just
you,
evolved
Maaz?
into
To a black
Vegemite.
paste. Actually, you know what? Yeah,
The
it
bread
is
was a
quite
bit
spicy.
weird. Like American bread, it tastes sweet.
No,
I don't know
it's
why it
not
tastes
that
sweet.
Yeah, I
American.
know. I don't like white bread.
Yeah.
No,
I
the
don't know,
bread
it
at the
tastes
house
sweeter.
was bad. The
I
bread at the
have
house
wheat
sucked.
bread.
Yeah, whole grain's the way to go.
Yeah.
Italian.
Italian
I
bread.
love how we can just talk about bread and salt on this podcast. Yes, the
both-
diversity.
they're
We went
both a spicy
immediately
cuisine.
from racism to salt. This is incredible. I just want to point that out.
All right, speaking of salt, I'm making a new video. Let's talk about Curtrichy. I just gotta like really just-
Yes. I would love to not see that. Thanks.
I think that could be the
Genuinely.
next best thing.
Let's talk
All right.
about Curtrichy. Yeah, that's the new series of videos coming out. Not the.
Well, guys, I'm gonna start my reviewing channel on Curt first.
Oh, boy. I'm
I-
not
I'd
even
actually
in
like to see
like
that,
an animation channel. I'm
Yes,
like,
you
they
are.
do-
Listen, all right, guys, listen here. I have a bit
Oh,
of a
we're
rant
gonna
on
do
Curt.
this.
Alright, Curt always, whenever I speak to Curt and like we're talking about like actual like YouTube
I have a
stuff,
good
he's
argument.
always, but it's such a meme because Kurt's like, y'all people always do this. Or like,
You
y'all are
people.
really good 'cause you make
What do you mean,
animations.
you
Y'all,
people?
all of y'all. And then I'm like, Curt,
What
you're
accent
part
is
of us.
that?
That's my Curt impression. Kurt's
He
like
does
a-
that
Yeah,
hard.
well, I
Even
just-
before we
I
jump
don't
into
think-
that
I
topic.
don't think even
Okay,
Curt
my name's-
disagrees that. Like he is in the community. I don't think anybody.
Oh yeah,
disagrees
I
with that.
definitely am
I
in
know,
the
but it's just-
community. I
it's
say
an
I'm
ongoing
not
meme.
an animator, which
You're
is the
not,
truth.
but it's funny.
definitively.
But like, it's
What-
funny
then what
whenever
are we
Kurt always
arguing
tries to be the cool kid on the block who doesn't make animation. He's like, oh yeah, I'm pretty cool.
No, y'all are cool because
Kurt
I
is
don't do
scary
anything.
as hell in real life.
What?
Okay.
No,
Ray,
friendly
that's
and
racist.
He's a big teddy bear. He's a big teddy bear. Fuck
You are like the same personality, but I was genuinely intimidated by your height. No one told me that you were
hell?
gonna be
He
a.
is a bit of a green giant.
I'm 6'1". Again, all right, I
Laddie's
can't.
like a
Don't.
midget.
You are not 6'1".
I'd less.
That
I
is-
am 6'1", and well, shoes, and then maybe 6'2", I guess. But nah, y'all are just subliminal racism.
You felt way taller than Backman, and Backman was
What?
a giant.
Backman was
Oh,
terrifying.
that's because. All right, I'm sorry. It's because I'm black. You.
Whoa,
you,
Whoa, guys.
Wow.
You're black.
Whoa. Yeah, I know. It's
Australia
crazy.
doesn't have black people, so I get no.
Yeah. Don't you guys have like Aborigines?
Yeah, but they don't
Aborigines.
call them black.
Let's have a language.
Yeah, there's American black. I feel like is different than like.
You're not even the first black person I met. I met.
I
like,
hope not.
burritos. Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh my God,
wait.
it's even worse
Have
in
you not
Ireland,
met
guys.
black people outside of Australia? This is a real question.
No, he met Dave.
As in like African American, like no, never actually.
Wow.
I have quite a funny
it is
story when it comes to
It is a pleasure to be the first African American.
You're not.
I think Burrito Shake was first.
Nah, we're just
Burrito
gonna
Shake.
pretend it was me. I am honored to be the first African
Yeah,
American.
that reminds me of a certain time once. We had our cousins over for Christmas, and they're Irish. And at the same time, my dad's friend from New York, and she's black, came over as well. And they'd never seen a black person before, and they were like, I think six.
Did they start touching
six
her
or
like,
seven.
hey?
No, they said they literally. It was such a meme. I can't remember exactly, but once she came laughing to us. We're like, oh, what is it? And she said, your nephew, your cousin just came across and just said, why are you brown? It was like, what?
What? You don't even need to be cultured to know that's a
why is-
stupid question.
Like they genuinely,
What?
like what? Like I don't understand how they'd never seen anyone who was black before.
That's
Crazy.
interesting.
I just want.
I've never heard of
want
that
somebody
before.
to ask now. Why are you brown? Just why?
Why?
You know.
Dude,
Why
that's
are
when
you
you
brown?
reach enlightenment. That's like the next level of the human race.
That's
It's
the
like,
next
hey,
level of the human race.
Where are you from? Where are your parents from? Why are you brown? That's like it's like it's like the brain meme.
I'm gonna start
just keep
asking.
going.
It's a
I'm-
haiku.
Now I'm gonna start asking whiite people, why are you white then?
Yes,
And,
do
yeah,
it.
everything will even out. The circle comes to full circle.
It's like a
I love it as a colored boy. I get whenever you almost do something in public, they just like, hey, go back to your own country. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
I can,
okay.
and then they ask me like,
The more
why are
I
you brown?
speak,
And
the more
I'm
I'm
just
like, man,
confused.
When this comes out, I want to sound super racist at everyone.
Dude, I think we're all gonna
Incredibly.
sound extremely.
I'm not. Like, it's
strange.
not the case.
He's racist guy.
I was gonna say something incredibly risky, but I don't want to. Yeah, let's get.
Okay.
Maaz just drops the N word.
Now I'm-
He's like, is that okay?
neighbor.
I'm like,
How
Wait,
do
wait.
you-
not. Maybe not
Guys,
in this
wait. All right,
Okay.
let's just think about this. If neighbor is an analogy for the N word, Ned Flanders is the most evil person alive.
Shut up.
Well,
Shut
Or
up.
Mr.
It-
Rogers.
It's
Hello,
been a
neighbor.
pleasure being on this podcast,
Hello,
but on that
no.
note,
Oh,
I'm
no.
getting the hell out of
Mr.
here.
Rogers.
I'm
You
done.
can't leave.
I'm
You're
done.
stuck here.
I'm done. I'm
No,
done. Log it
no.
off. Matt's edit in the Discord leave sound effect right here.
Just like,
I'm not gonna cover up your silly mistakes, Kurt.
Silly.
You gotta own
there's
it.
this song that's like we'll get past the racist topics, but like if I was to keep the analogy going, it's literally just neighbor, 100% neighbor, and it just repeats, but the percentage keeps getting bigger. And it's just like neighbor, 200% neighbor, but then some. So that's like the entirety of the song. It just keeps going like that.
I know
Then
what
somebody
you're talking
did.
about.
Somebody did a censored version, so it's just like
Oh my god.
beep 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 beep.
yeah.
100% beep.
Yeah. I've
Beep
heard
beep beep.
I love playing that
That
song.
is-
Cruising down
that is
the
a
road.
I forget where I heard that from, but when I heard, I thought it was glorious. That is.
I thought that
incredible.
was just so
That is
funny to
fantastic.
me, dude.
That's a crazy story, dude.
Oh
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
is this a segue?
But I have also a crazy story.
Oh,
Ready for this?
Whoa.
Brilliant segue.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
9 out of
Look at
10.
that stuff.
9 out of 10
Nine out of
landing.
10.
Why-
Smooth transition.
Is that why you're a host?
Yeah.
Is this why?
Yeah,
And,
wow.
like, you can
One
say
day I was
why.
at VidCon tying my
Mhm.
spaghetti, and I was like, whoa, what's on the floor? And it was the end.
Living on a cliff.
That's not even a great. That was. That wasn't even.
That was
You didn't even.
pathetic.
I am
try.
pissed.
Try,
It's like
but
you
that was
landed. It's like you landed your flip, and then you just like fell to the ground and started seizing.
It's like that
Like-
video of that like old black guy dancing with the young, and he does like the backflip and just like crumples on the ground.
Wait, what are you talking
That's what
about?
this.
What? Wait, I thought you guys were talking about
I'll
that video of
send
like
it-
how to tuck yourself in at night, and it's like this kid flying into the bed, doing a backflip.
No.
No,
No,
damn
no,
it,
no.
It's
What?
like how to tuck yourself in at night, and it's this kid doing a backflip into his bed.
Okay, I know you're talking
Oh, I've
about
seen
now,
that. I know what that is. I know.
No, this is a 15-second video, but this is so funny. Oh my god.
You linked it. I can't watch it now.
That's it was.
Are you linked to it?
If you
Alright,
want
let
to,
me
yeah,
take a
I'm
quick
watching
watch.
it now.
How do
You have
Look.
problems.
Old
'cause
guy
that's
tries the
you.
praise dance.
Oh.
It's like that's you. You're like trying to old breakdance. And then,
Like an attempt was made.
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. You know what?
I
He
just love how the
tried.
guy runs.
in the background, yeah.
Like, I'm outta It's too of a crazy story for me. I'm out.
Laddi, do you have a crazy story for him?
No, but I could easily make a better one.
Do it, laddie.
Wow.
I wanted to
dude.
bomb it.
I need to hear it now.
So what?
Oh,
Were you talking
hell.
about spaghetti?
Yeah, I was tying my spaghetti. I was on the.
You
I
were
was
tying
my
your
spaghetti.
spaghetti?
Yeah, man.
So you're slurping your spaghetti, and then there's a hair in your spaghetti, and so you're just slurping hair, and then
Yeah.
you spit it out, and then that's the story.
Wow, laddie.
my
Wow.
God.
Wow, so crazy.
Just to backtrack a little bit, I knew your story was gonna be bullshit when he was like, I was
Yeah.
tying my
But
spaghetti.
I thought it was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
have like,
Well, Kurt,
it
No.
makes
no.
sense though.
Kurt, we don't really have a crazy story, but we have a story of what happened when you, me, and Speechy went to go buy some schmores.
Some
What happened?
s'mores.
You bought some schmurs?
There wasn't anything to the story. I
No,
just
I
sat
didn't say
you
it
guys
wasn't a crazy
outside
story. I
like
just said it was
children.
a story.
I dadded
Alright,
you
t-
guys.
tell me
Yeah,
the story.
basically,
I know
Kurt.
you know.
All right. So we went over to Kurt's house, and then we thought, hey, you know what? Let's make some schmores. But we didn't have any firewood. I suggested burning a bush, but they said no.
The burning bush
No,
proposed by Maaz.
But
Bible
there was
over
just
here.
a bush there. I was like, oh, okay, there's a bit of wood. But apparently that wasn't a good idea. So we're gonna go buy some logs
You
and
know
buy
shit.
some s'mores. However, me and Speechy, I don't know about you, Kurt, but we both left our phones in the house and forgot about them. And so for like the next 30 minutes, as like we were walking around, there was no escape. There was no way of getting onto your phone. And I know it's like a meme of like, get off your phone. But it was actually kind of like really funny because then me and Speechy had to like entertain ourselves. So then, so it just turned into this sort of like situation where we kept on like memeing around. And then Kurt was there being like, I'm daddying this shit. And he kept saying that over and over. And it was so funny.
Because
Daddy
y'all
Kurt. Oh, no.
y'all were tripping because you didn't have your phones. It literally was like I was your father. I was like, yo, sit here. Don't touch anything.
He made us wait outside a store whilst he gets the wood.
You're going. You made you go back to school.
Yes,
No,
I
sit
sent
outside.
them back to school.
It was terrifying.
Better.
I enrolled them in a nice.
You're a good
nice,
father figure.
Yeah, I know.
You guys think you had it bad? This is Russian Laddie hated me for this, but I had an Australian phone,
Oh,
and
Oh,
so
yeah.
I had no text and no internet when I wasn't connected to
Really?
We
Wi-Fi.
couldn't connect to it. We couldn't get
Oh my
contact with them.
God.
Like, where are you for karaoke?
yes.
And-
oh my
and-
god.
Dude, I would be writing. I would be doing some random crap. Because I hoped the VidCon Convention Center had a Wi-Fi, and it didn't. Like
Dude, that's so
like it
annoying.
had.
And
had a-
there was a point when we were all like trying to get in contact with you. We're like, yo, does anyone have Maz's number? No, not a singer. There was at least 16 people with us. Like, how does no one? And then we all were like, "Oh, he's not from here." Of course, like, of course not. Someone hit his DMs.
Maaz, was there no like thing you could get with your like providers for your like mobile service to have it so you could like for a few days?
I didn't even check. Like, if you guys, I don't think you guys have Telstra in the US, so I was just like,
but like
well,
even with like
WhatsApp.
with my provider, like I called them up being like, "Yo, can I get something?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure. For this days, you can get this data allowance."
See, that would have been a smart thing to do, and yet I'm not a smart man. Many things happened in which I needed to be smart. That was not one of them. That was I failed at that.
Yeah. Maaz, at VidCon House, the Airbnb we went to, we had this mini fridge that was fully packed, and they were like, "No, you're not allowed to have it." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, man.
Yeah, they yelled at us for
boys.
drinking their drinks. It's like, how are we supposed to know we're not supposed to drink that? Put a little sticky note on there next time.
Sad boys.
Yeah.
I didn't drink anything, so I'm fine.
I
I'm like
didn't-
safe. I'm like, yeah.
I didn't drink anything. I had a
I
Coke.
drank-
Laddie and I have deniability. We're like, yeah,
no.
we can do
I saw you had a Coca-Cola once.
Yeah, that's why I said I had a Coke. But that's Coke.
Laddie's doing Coke.
Okay,
You're here now,
see,
guys.
It was like me and Laddie like crossing our arms. We're like, no, we have deniability. But now I heard that, and I pushed Laddie onto your side, and I'm like, yeah,
That is all.
yeah, no, never mind. She
It's
drank
like
Coke.
one Coke can. I can go
Can't believe
replace
you, Laddie.
Now you're like begging to get back on my side. You're like, no, it's just
it's
one
only
Coke
with
can.
these drunks.
Murder is still murder, Laddie. Even though you
Speaking
just hit
about-
one.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't speak about drugs.
Oh, I was about to say speaking about murder, and I was like, "Oh my god, murder!"
Yeah, so guys, I have to admit something. At VidCon, no,
Oh, dear.
the reason you guys didn't see me anywhere, no,
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's why I didn't. Have
he doesn't just kill ducks. Okay, he's leveled up to people.
And he
He's
did have a
got a
phone,
taste.
but it was a throwaway.
or just one at VidCon US, and I leave and I never come back to America. That's how you get away with it.
And then
They
you
can't crack
tell it
Theoretically.
to the
I don't know
public.
if that's how murder works, but good try.
Like, as in,
we can-
if I did hypothetically,
Okay.
of course,
Uh-huh.
kill someone during the trip,
Uh-huh.
can I get extradited back to US to pay to get punished? Like, I don't think I can. I don't think that's how
I
it works.
am not a law person, but if I were to
We
guess,
actually found a way around murder.
what?
I don't know.
No,
I was
no.
saying that as a meme, but it came off
No,
very
no.
serious.
I know.
Way
'Cause
around murder,
You
okay.
say everything is a meme, and you were serious 80% about
Yeah,
80% of the time about your memes.
Whilst most
Yeah.
people have to add "I'm joking" at the end of after they say something to make sure that
No,
people
I just
like
automatically
serious.
take it
for
as a
me,
joke.
For me, I have to say, guys, I'm being serious here before I say anything serious.
No, and then it's a joke again. 70% of the time. I've done the math for sure.
I turn many serious situations into jokes, and then it doesn't work out at all in my favor.
You come into the chat, you're like, guys, my parents died. Everyone's like, yeah, they start laughing at you. They just laugh.
That actually happened with this was
Your
Your
parents
parents died?
No,
That actually?
no. All right, so when my dog passed away, it was really sad. But like I so this was like the first time I've been upset in ages, and I went into college, and like one person I was sitting at this table, and I was like, oh yeah, guys, my dog died, and they're like, oh that's upsetting. But then I had like, yeah, I mean it was kind of funny though, like the other day because my mum found one of his old little poos on the on the garden, and we're like, oh, it's a poo from the dog. But like some girl randomly on the table, even though there was like a heartfelt moment in like a funny way, she just started laughing. It's like, oh my god, I should
I
not
would
say
mean.
start laughing as well. I would start laughing as well. What is that?
dude, like if our dog just he was lost for like 3 days. We found him, and it was like really sad. We just buried him.
Our
and
dog-
then, like, the
you
next
just-
day,
Our dog left
you
a piece of crap as
yeah, the
memento.
next day we found his little poo.
It was his last shit.
It
That's
was
a
his last
memorable
shit. It was
moment.
really sad.
Did you frame it? Did you kiss it?
No, we didn't frame it. But
I
what
feel like your whole
okay,
family is
we
like
kind
you,
of-
and that makes me happy.
We didn't frame it, but like, funnily enough, with where we buried him, my dad is very very crafty, and we actually made like this like wooden gazebo thing around it because my mom's very into like gardening and
Around
stuff.
the poo?
No, not around the poo.
You
Around his
built
like
a wooden
grave.
gazebo
Around his grave.
around the poop.
No, but it's just like a place for like nature and like flowers and stuff. So we did respect for
That's
dog.
pretty cool.
And not
But
just,
where did the poo go?
dude? I don't know. Probably in the
They
ground.
saved it. They saved it. Clearly.
It got
Wow,
cremated.
Maaz,
It's
you're
in the
like-
freezer.
It's in the freezer to this day. It's just a piece of
There's
crap.
just like a box of shit, like right
You have,
outside
like,
of.
meats, you have ice cream, and then you have just the frozen crap.
Yeah, little turd sitting there.
Well, good to know Mads family traditions. When our pets
You have, like, a
die, we
collection.
save
Dude,
their
we
last
didn't-
shit.
we didn't do
it's just
that. We just-
y'all just have a bunch of last
Dude,
poops.
if you saw the final poop of your dog, you'd be sick.
Bro,
I feel like most people wouldn't think anything of it. Like I don't think most people
What do you mean?
lament
It's just shit.
over a
I'd be like,
piece
I
of
gotta
shit.
clean that
if you
Like
spend every
most
day-
people lament over the body.
But dude, yeah, and you do that. But imagine this, all right? So you spend every day cleaning up.
I have a
big
barial
poop.
for the poop
No, you spend
instead of
every
the
day,
dog.
and then one day you
you,
see the final
you
poop.
put your poop on a leash. That's a new pet.
That is a replacement. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mads.
That's
I'm
fine,
sure.
that's
I'm like,
No, it
traumatic.
was a while ago, so it's all good.
Aw.
But it was
and then like your poop dies, and you have to cremate. Your poop does a poop
All right,
itself.
what does it take for a poop to die? These are the hard questions.
Dang.
I want to
It
know.
just disintegrates. It's like Thanos. It just,
Oh my god.
I'm not feeling so good, man.
Wait, did you
Oh,
hear about?
there's actually a movie based on that. Oh my god, there's
Oh, Dogs Go to
there's a
Heaven.
Jack Black.
What?
There's a Jack Black movie called Vapoo Rise.
Yeah, I love that movie.
I'm not joking. We should actually watch that.
It's
Kurt.
a great comedy.
are-
Yeah, his neighbor
you are
is.
What
kid-
movie?
Yeah, all right. So
It's called
like this one
Vapoo Rise.
inventor and his friend, and his friend is stupid and whatever. And
It's called Envy, I think.
yeah, and he was like envy, and then he got famous through this thing called Vapapoo, and it like makes you spray on poop and it disappeared. It's like oh, there, and then he became
No.
rich and
It's
famous.
not called Vapopoo. It's called Vapoo Rise.
Listen.
Shut up. Who
With
cares?
all- with all due-
cares?
with all due
It's
respect,
Jack
the
Black.
more
Because
with
Jack
all due
Black,
respect,
whenever
the more you guys describe this, the less interested I'm
No,
becoming.
it's
And secondly,
great.
I don't listen to any of Mad's movie recommendations. I thought we
no.
established
Great.
this at the beginning of the
They're all great.
podcast.
I love the fact that he was so determined. He's like, no, it's called Way Poo. Who cares? It's like,
Dude, it's good to remember it. It's good to
It's
understand.
a movie about shit. Like what
Next
are
movie
you?
we're watching.
It's generally a movie about shit. So you're not joking.
Yeah, and he
don't
becomes rich
scoop
and
the poop.
famous, and yeah, he tries to sabotage him, but in the end, you find out that like years later, it's bad for the environment and destroyed the Earth, and he's like, yes, he's
Poop?
an asshole. Yeah,
Poop is bad
by
for the
vaporing
environment?
poop, it goes in the atmosphere and ruins the human Earth, and he's like happy that that guy got what he deserved.
Oh man, see the quality of movies you guys like. Ants, not this.
Dude, Jack
brother.
Black. Jack Black is a good guy.
Pun not intended on the quality of movies joke, because it's about shit. You get it?
Kurt,
It's
I
a
hope you know that
shit
Laddi laugh is
movie.
a pity laugh.
Yeah.
That was just like
That was
you
a
didn't have
terrible
enough
joke on
confidence behind
purpose.
that to carry that through.
Oh,
all right?
okay.
all right.
Like-
Well, I was trying to do terrible, but I'm terrible at being
No,
terrible.
like you rejected that joke halfway, and I was like, Kurt, shake my dang head, dude.
Shake my dang head.
Have you guys
Yeah,
watched
that's
Black Knight?
big mood. Here we go again
As
with
in,
a
like,
terrible
Batman.
No, Black
No,
Knight.
he's talking about a he's here we go again.
Alright,
Why
so
am I
It's
here?
about this guy. It's about this guy who goes back in time, and he's like this '90s. Like I was just actually, you know what? I'll just put this image.
Yeah,
on
I
the
know
screen.
what you're talking about. Yeah,
Yeah, but look at this image.
Oh.
Alright, this basically
Rush, why
describes
do you
the
watch
movie.
these terrible movies?
yeah,
not-
it's a
This-
great movie.
This podcast is just an excuse for Mads to trap me and to give me all these terrible movie recommendations.
This is not a great movie.
Dude, that is a good
I
movie.
watched it like, I just watched Shawshank Redemption, and I come into the room, and Rush is like, dude, Black Knight, bro, like.
Dude, it is actually a good movie.
Oh wait, no, actually,
it? 'Cause
wait,
it's
hold on.
black.
This is like the Game of Thrones movie with the guy. Oh wait, actually,
Yeah,
I
where
actually do
he
know
like
this.
falls through like a pool of water or something, even ends up like back in time.
Do you know what's a better movie?
Is it actually a good movie?
Well, I mean, it might be nostalgia talking, but I watched it when I was like 7 or 8, and I really liked it. So I don't know.
You ever seen Nacho Libre?
Yes! Oh my god, Nacho Libre is actually a good movie.
But I made my family members like they love it, like my uncle and stuff. But my grandma hates it, like on my dad's side, and they put it on at Easter time, and she was just like mad the whole time. It's like I hate this movie. It's like why?
It's
like,
such a
so
good movie.
stupid.
I've never seen it.
Dude, it's
Yeah,
actually
me
good.
neither.
Jack Black, you know what? I really like him.
Fuck 'em.
I don't know. I have no interest in Jack Black.
You don't like School of Rock?
I mean, I don't remember it. I'm sure I've seen it before, but like I had no interest in it. I don't know why. Couldn't tell you.
That's the best. I think it's a Nickelodeon or Disney. It's the best Disney or Nickelodeon film ever.
Again, this is coming from the guy who freezes his animal shits. So
Oh,
I'm
don't.
gonna take that with a grain of salt.
Listen,
do
Maaz, I
that.
don't know, man. It's weird.
Dude,
Can that be your channel's new logo?
or just
It's
fucking
like
frozen shit.
Frozen crap.
I might do a vid. I'm planning on doing a video about like bullying and stuff.
Frozen
and,
crap?
No, not about
Yeah.
frozen crap. But, like,
my dogs. My
I might
dogs frozen
mention
crap.
that as like a joke, sort of thing. I'll put it somewhere in there if it comes up. Get craps.
Oh, man.
That's good.
What I love is like after VidCon, and VidCon was great, and we got to meet each other. I can imagine your faces completely as you tell this story.
Oh my god.
The frozen crab, and the Curt going like no. You know, I can.
Oh no 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 no.
No.
Because that was
no,
Curt the
no.
entire VidCon trip. It was just him going no, God no, please.
I can see
Your
him
worst nightmare
shaking his
come
head right
alive.
now. I detest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You can't.
Dude, also, because I mentioned your face, what's with, like, I know you've been sitting on this for a while and you kept hyping it up, but the dyslexia quiz?
What?
Mads?
Oh, you talking about the whole video? Or just my
Because,
face?
like, you know, I would be talking to Mads and he's like, dude, you know, James hasn't uploaded this video.
I
already
wanted
for
the video
him.
out. It's out now. Okay.
It's called the dyslexia quiz, and I'm like, all right, like I get it. And then I watched the video, and I've got to give you mad props, man. That video is edited beautifully.
Oh, you
Very-
do like it? You do like it?
Oh,
It was only
Oh, no,
funny because
absolutely.
of your editing. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
You carried it through. The only one part that I was like, bro, you could have done a better joke is when you insert yourself in the dang video
Oh,
and
yeah?
you go, yes.
I didn't know what else to do.
Literally, it could have just been as simple as you wearing two sunglasses and then you take one off to reveal the other sunglasses.
Oh my god.
Yes,
Why
that's
didn't you tell
it.
me that? That would've been great. Jeez, I should have.
Think outside the box.
People.
Oh my god.
But you know what? I mean, it turned out it was still funny how it was. But yeah, that would have been
Yeah.
better.
It was also just like the least enthusiastic yes ever. It was just like you like half
Yep.
baked it.
Yeah,
I was
I've
like,
gotta
what?
do This is my source of income. That's why I got it.
Dude,
Your life is a lie.
That was really fun though. That was really fun to edit.
the video was really funny.
Thanks, fam.
But I'm also fairly certain that he's very dyslexic.
Hey, at
I'm
least we got
quite
ice cream.
annoyed. I'm quite annoyed that it was like it was uploaded like with a slight delay because of that the trumpet meme was dead and I was like, oh no.
Oh, dude.
Because
yeah.
I spent a lot of time doing that. I give
Well,
any
if you
props
look
to
at the
people who do
comments, people are really into the trumpet memes
It
still.
was
They're
really
like, wow,
good. How did you do that? Like,
Alright.
did you?
the background, that's the
Yeah,
major part.
that's
like,
what
how
I'm-
well, did you?
Alright,
Did you
I
What I'm
clone it
imagining
all?
is that you
genuinely
just
I genuinely had to Photoshop James out of the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like I found
That's
another
hard,
scene where
though.
James walked away and then skewed.
Yeah,
it
that's
to the right
that's
perspective.
what I thought. You must have just put that in the background and then Photoshop James out and then added him on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what you.
That was a pain to do, but like that was a fun afternoon.
Bro, must be paid handsomely. But listen, you're like I guess that's what you do now. You're like a freelance editor, boy.
Yeah, for sure.
Full time.
Yeah.
In case anyone doesn't know, so I just finished my like education basically, and instead of going straight into university, I'm taking some time off to focus on like my channel as well as like doing editing for like James and like even this editing the podcast and some stuff for Jaden. I edit her audio, and at the same time of it being kind of scary, it's literally like the dream scenario for me in order to have like, being able to edit for like a living or like just being able to create stuff and make people laugh. So I think I'm in a pretty good place with that.
You make me
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah, man. editing as well as with your own channel. It's good stuff,
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, man. Keep it going.
Thanks, fam.
I
But
hope you
also,
become big enough where people spread the word about ants.
dude, I hope so. All right, that my dream
no.
scenario
No.
and frozen shit.
I wish you could hear how. I wish you could hear people roll your eyes because like every
Make a-
time.
Kurt, it's
Make
just
a flickery
you.
noise.
It is just me, and it's sad, and it hurts.
Oh,
It
Kurt,
hurts me
do
deep
you know what's
inside.
annoying? We don't have any other footage of like when it was like you, me, and Turtle in like the Discord server making all those funny scenarios, and we just like died of laughter. Do you know that?
When was
Do you remember
this?
that?
I don't know.
know, but
When
like
was it?
Turt kept saying like Turt could barely breathe, and it was like I wish this was recorded. And I was like, you know what? Me too. That's one thing which I don't like about
I always wanted us to have like a recording room chat, but then I realized it would never, because
It's
everything
kinda
we come up
creepy.
with is terrible. It's awful.
Wait, is that in Play
Yeah.
Button?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
in
wish.
Playboy.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had like a bot where it's like if someone put like exclamation mark record, like a bot joined and automatically started recording the chat, which we were having in case something funny started happening.
People, that would get tricky.
That gets tricky, but like
Get mighty tricky. You're like, yeah, we're recording everything you say. Like, it's better to have like,
Somebody else joins in and just drops a racial slur.
Yes.
Like,
like they play that song that we were talking about earlier. Neighbor, 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 neighbor.
without the censorship.
Yes.
oh no.
Yeah, that would be.
It was live streamed now. It's just, oh my god.
Nice. I could see it happening. I wouldn't be surprised.
Listen, like, I could 100% see that happening. Live stream doxing, dude. There's a real thing now, man.
Aww.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
That is
You guys heard about
scary.
pivots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
what
was
happened?
awful.
He died.
Don't say that, Rush.
I don't
Oh my
think that
God.
happened. I think I saw him tweet like the other
Well,
day. So-
Rush isn't completely wrong because,
Oh.
all right, so as in like, okay,
Did
so
you guys
the
freeze
stream
his shit?
happened,
Yeah.
and you know Jaden got doxed hardcore. You know, like all the information dropped and stuff. And I see a tweet by Pivots, and he's just like, "Yep, I'm not gonna do any more streams. It's gonna be on Twitch." And I was like, "Whoa, you right?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, it's just like, you know, people doxed Jaden, and I was kind of scared that they were gonna do it to me." And I was like, "Oh, dang, dude."
Oh, yikes.
And yeah, I know, right? And I was like, "Well, you know, as long as you don't let this take your streams down, it should be okay." And then there's another tweet that followed up. Then he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably just not gonna go on Twitter anymore. I'm just getting harassed a little bit." And I was like, "Oh no!" So he's going through his own stuff, dude.
Oh,
Dang.
poor guy.
Aww.
I saw again.
man.
I think Turt's not like in that great of a place either because I saw him on. I hope by the time this is out, he's feeling a lot better. But like he said, that he was really I think he was like burnt out on working on his video, and he said he won't do another one for like a month or two on his Instagram. Turt, like someone asked like, "Oh, are you okay for like a question and answer thing?" He was like, "Oh, not really." So a lot of people seem to be pretty like in the roughs right now. I hope.
a lot of YouTubers, I feel like, not just in the animation community, but in general, feel like, bro, I'm burnt. Like that's a common theme in 2018 right now. I think, at least, I've seen it around a lot.
But
like
I think
Mills.
I think that's normal. I don't think that's like I think.
No, I know. I feel like it's coming to a head this year, or maybe it's being more broadcast more heavily this year.
Yeah.
But I definitely see it way more often than I have previously. Maybe it's because of like where I'm at now, or where being around you guys more often. But I've definitely seen it as a common
I think
theme.
it's important to address that you feel that way because a lot of people might be like, "Oh, I don't like this. Oh, that means I'll never want to do this again. Will I not want to do that?" Because sometimes I'm working on my video, I'm like, "Oh, I don't want to do this," and then I have this like almost domino effect of being like, "Oh, do I want to continue doing this? Have I made a mistake by going down this pathway?
yeah.
What am I doing?"
Yeah.
But then you just need to like actually speak to someone or like come out and realize that you're just in like a rough place right now, and like just try and look for the positive light from your friends.
Thank you.
I think mental health, like Jaden's kind of shifting her content a little
I
bit.
love the fact that she's
Um,
doing more serious stuff. I really like that.
Yeah, no, she's like even the next one is quite
Yeah.
serious as
I was
well. She's
editing
really
that, and I was like, "Ooh, this is good."
she's leaning into the serious topics quite a bit.
If there's one person to spearhead it, especially after I got to listen to her at her panel during what was it called? They were basically talking about mental health in the YouTube space, and it was very good to hear her and a lot of other YouTubers, including Nathan Zed. He's like dope. They're talking about
Your boy.
Yeah, that's my dude. And the conversation I felt was very important. Kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about earlier about burnout, because it almost, I don't know, either YouTube is something that makes you feel better or it makes you feel worse, especially when it
Or
comes
both.
to like mental health. Or dependent on who you are.
Probably both. Let's
Yeah,
be
I think-
honest,
I think
right?
it's both.
The highest highs, but the lowest lows.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it becomes definitive on like how well you did. Like, you like, I don't know, people they care about the views or they instead of like making the content. But I get it to an extent. I think that's why a lot of YouTubers are getting burnt out. They feel their happiness becomes associated with how well their videos do instead of how well creatively they feel about the video they just put out. But I
Yeah,
get
it's good
it.
to stay on top
It's
of that
easier.
sort of
It's
stuff.
easier. It's easier to say than to fix.
At the same time of like being able to share all these like quite big important messages, I think it's also good to not forget that not everything needs to have a point. Like you can just make a fun video to make people laugh, and that can be
It's
that,
a
that can,
whole
that can be good enough.
community. That's like at least like that's what
Yeah,
we see
'cause I-
constantly in the animation. right now.
Because
It's just happy
I watched this guy who like he's not of the community, but his name's Relax and does these really
Love him.
cool, clever
Love
sort of
him.
skit editing of like video games, mainly like Smash Bros and a few other stuff. But I watched one of his like vlogs on like his second channel, and he was mentioning how good he feels about not having to think every single video needs to have a purpose and just to have fun creatively with it. So that's another thing to bear in mind.
It's crazy. Like it really is important to kind of grab your bearings and be okay with everything YouTube. Like I had sushi with what do you call them? Casually Explained, right? And you'd think that if you from after watching one of his videos that he's just like who you don't think he's a dumb guy, but you don't think too much about it, right? But then you talk to him in real life, and he's like going into mental health, and he's like really delving into like his work life, and he's talking about all that. I'm like, dang,
Yeah.
dude, you're like, just
he seems
something
like a
you
really
gotta
cool
deal
guy.
with.
Yeah, Laddi.
It's just definitely something intrinsically tied to YouTube, and that doesn't really get as much attention as it needs. People ask like, hey, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. I'm like, well, can you be a YouTuber? Like, legitimately, it's so hard to wade through your own doubts and the insecurities and stuff sometimes. Man.
And don't let us, for people listening, don't let that make us sound like, oh, YouTube is hard. Our lives suck. First world problem. Like I think
Oh, yeah.
I think it's I like to use this analogy that everyone who is going through something is like, it's like they're in a hole. Okay, even if it's like someone who's in debt or someone who's going through, I don't know, like having a bad day. You could be 50 feet under, or you could be 10 feet under. Sure, the 10 feet person is close to the top, but it doesn't mean they're still able to get out. Like they're still stuck in that hole. So
That's pretty
it's
good
it's good to keep in mind that other people may have it worse, but don't let that take away from the issues you're having right now. That's a very important
And at the
message.
same time of viewing
Well,
that sort of thing, a lot of people might think, oh, like I especially used to feel this way with age, whether it be like people who are like the same age as me or lower, and be really, really successful in whatever they're doing, and be like, oh crap, where am I compared to these people? But then at the same time, you can flip that and think, oh, okay, comparing me to people in their 30s or whatever, it could be an entirely different story. So perspective is like very important when it comes to just overall happiness and view of the world.
I get you. Highest highs and lowest lows, audience. I'm telling you, man. Just do what you want, boy.
Like pumpkin videos.
Indeed,
Yeah, man.
those are great.
Yeah, happiness is relative, so you gotta make it from how you make stuff on the internet if you're doing the YouTube.
Yo,
thing.
Curt.
Yes.
I just want to say it as well. All right. So Nathan Zed.
Yes.
All right. So I met the dude randomly.
Oh, that's
okay?
awesome.
I'm at the Hyatt with James and Jaden, and then we meet up with Danny Gonzalez and Drew Gooden, right?
Yeah.
And we catch up with them, and Rumi and Dave from Boy in a Band is there, and we catch up with like the two Viners, and I watched their content, and I was like, wow, they're really cool people.
That's dope, man.
And Nathan Zed walks in. And Jaden's like, hey, we were just on a panel together. And James is like, hey, we talked in VidCon Australia. And he looks at them and just goes like, "Oh yeah, cool." And then he walks up to like Drew Gooden and goes like, "Dude, I love your like," and he just like,
Oh
just
my
like,
god.
kind of like sidestep them, just.
And then he
I was
go,
like,
cool,
bro.
He was obviously had
Yikes.
his eyes on the prize.
Yeah, he knew what we was going for.
I just thought that was really funny.
That is funny. Dang.
How did they feel? Like, was James
Yeah.
and Jen laughing, or were they just like,
I think the weird. Okay, because now like majority of my VidCon was spent meeting a lot of people. Some people in the community, some people not in the community. There's like when you're meeting other YouTubers, there's like such a game to play socially, right? And I had to like learn how to play it so quickly, right? So it's like because some of them you're gonna be fans of, but you can't do anything to view yourself as inferior in their eyes, right?
What do you mean?
Because that okay, so like I met Drew Gooden and Dan. I met Jax Films. Okay, I knew that our good friend Taylor was really into Jax Films, right? And I like she was like, "Hey, if you meet him first, can you like ask him for a photo or a video for me?" And I was like, "Dude, I'll be glad to do that," right? But then you meet him, and it's just like if I ask him to take a photo or video with me, that's immediately putting me on a position of a fan, and he's gonna dismiss me in his mind as a fan and not as a fellow creator. And so I had to not ask him to take a photo or video,
I get that.
no matter how much I wanted it.
I get that.
Like meeting Ross from Game Grumps,
Wow.
meeting Drew Gooden, all that. I couldn't do anything about it. I was just like,
I feel like in certain
Yeah.
situations it is possible, like even if it's like something such as like I know I think it was Taylor or someone else whilst we were having one of the days we had, I think after the beach we had lunch with Domics, and someone was like their little brother really was like a huge fan, so they asked him like, "Yo dude, my little brother is like huge fan," like it's just it's certain situations and stuff, so I do understand that. But I mean, yeah, there's always next time for those sort of stuff. Like, it's not like you're never gonna see those sort of people again. I mean, maybe, but I mean, there's always another chance. Those sort of stuff. But yeah, first impressions are always very important.
There's always Twitter.
it doesn't, and even like it's just like not like okay, I understand what you're saying, but even in that scenario, like maybe not even consciously, you still kind of dismiss them a little bit. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, and I like even that. Especially when meeting new people, I just wasn't keen on. Especially because there were some people I met who dismissed me because of sub count,
Really?
and that's fine. Well, that happens, right? That's what YouTube.
Yeah,
that's,
but
you know,
like I'm just curious
that's
if
the
like
stigma,
you ever
yeah.
go in a conversation with someone.
well, I don't want to name. I don't want to name drop. What the
I don't
heck?
wanna
name
expose
drop.
nobody
Don't
or
name drop, but I'm
anything,
just
but-
curious if it's like hey, I'm Maaz. I'm like, oh hey, what's your channel? You go, oh TheAMaazing. And they go, oh how many subs? And you're like 200K. And
No,
like,
it's,
get out of
okay, so
here.
it was more like I was with James and Jaden, and they were like the featured creators, right? They had the featured creator badge, and I
yeah.
had a full access badge.
oh, I guess that's
And
like a
they were-
whole issue as well of like having the full
and
access.
there was an issue, like, you know, well, Laddi and Rush were there for this story, but basically it was like, oh yeah, you know, Adam was like, yeah, I got mobbed when I walked out, and I was like, yeah, you know, it was good. I just saw that and I walked around, and they're like, wait, you walked around? I was like, yeah, it's just because I don't get mobbed, and they're like, oh, and you know, they were like, they were like judging me low key, and I was like, what the heck?
You get swarmed? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
not one of
sorry.
us.
Like my fans,
That's
I guess,
kinda-
aren't dedicated enough.
I don't think everyone's like that though. I think that's a very sort of specific
Well,
people.
Listen, somebody gave Adam a wood carving. Okay, like
That is crazy.
like, but like legit, like the gold bat. Okay, so Laddi and Rush and I, we were trying to find
Is this the first
the
day?
entrance to go in.
Yeah.
On the first
Yeah,
day.
it's funny.
The first day, we find like an alternate exit, and which was like the fantastic exit next to Hilton anyway. And we swipe our way in, and we take 2 steps, and this guy runs up, and he's like, "Yo, my name is like Kevin, and I just want to like just say this is my channel. He's my business guy." And he's chatting us up, and I was like, you know, replying as I would, and I was like, why, you know, because the thing is, in VidCon Australia, that happened as well. Some people would just give out their business cards and would just wait randomly, and I was like, it's not super weird, but you know, kind of odd. And then we walking away, and I'm like, oh, what was that about? And then Rush is like, yeah, it's probably because you had the gold badge. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, he attacked you. He was like, "Oh, go bad! I gotta make my mark." He's probably someone big. And
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
It's hard not to judge off
Yeah.
status. I mean, like, you kind of have to. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Well, especially if you don't have existing connections to people. Like, that's your number one thing. Like, oh, this person's important.
I agree. It was so good to have at least James and Adam by my side when I met new people, because they gave me something to work, like humor to work
My
with.
boy
You know
got
what I mean?
that clout, boy. That's what we talking about. That yes, I know exactly.
It's not even. It's just like my. Like, obviously, when you meet new people, I don't go full cancer. Nobody goes full cancer. Nobody goes.
I saw
What is full
some. I
cancer?
saw some people go. I think actually, yeah. So
Full cancer is you walking with an X-ray machine. You just like you shoot them with radiation.
Oh
right?
no,
That's
you
just,
kill
like,
them. Like,
Yeah, you
I
kill
can't
them.
remember
That's
who it is. I can't remember who it is, but someone was like, to someone else was like, "Oh my god, hey there!" And they were like, "Oh yo, what's up?" And then we went, "You followed me on Twitter like 2 weeks ago," and they were like,
Ugh.
"Yeah." Like, that's not something you really like.
It's like no proper.
And then you just
social
unfollow
convention.
them.
Yeah, it's like,
come on.
unfollow.
That was a.
There was.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No. Go.
I was like, there was a lot of like, not a lot of that, but I went to like one of the YouTuber networking things for college people who were in college, and it was either like, and you could see the wide range of people who knew how to talk, period, and then people who didn't. It was like the people were like, "Yo, dude, follow me on Twitter, follow me on, check out my Instagram." Like instead of like, "Yo, set the groundwork." Well, yo, this is my name, this is what I do. I'm a cool person because of this, that, and the third, and then hit me with the credentials and whatnot. Like my God, like, I don't care.
I'm willing to forgive those sort of people who do that just because it might be their first time trying to do that and they don't really understand the full sort of like way of
Well,
doing
because
it.
once again, it is a game. It's a game of social interaction.
but now
you
go ahead.
You gotta learn.
Yeah, now you're on that status of you are kind of low tier when it comes to conversations, and I have no and so if I want to give them credit, it's more so that like, well, he doesn't really know what he's doing, and I'm not gonna take that as like a genuine connection or friendship, as opposed to like if a dude who comes to me with the juice, I'm like, oh man, this dude knows what he's talking about. I met a couple people like that.
I think that brings back the whole mentality of viewing like people as numbers versus actual people. Like, you might just be like, ooh, one more person who follows me, one more person who subscribed to me, versus, okay, now I'm making new friends, making new contacts, and that's
it's really interesting, Maaz, that you say that, because it's funny to me watching the younger people in our community kind of deal with that, because we've got people who are like 13 with 50,000-60,000 subscribers, right? And it's like watching them get it, like, it goes to their head. They're 13. It goes to their heads, right? And it's like watching it, like, okay, I'm not sure if any of you watch Junkie Janka's vlog.
Oh, I didn't, but I wanted to.
But there's like a kid in the video. He's got like 150 subscribers, and he's like, the kid is 14, 15, and he's just he's like spreading the clout. He's like, dude, listen, man, I will grind my way, got 150 subscribers, and they're snickering and stuff in the background, and I was like, bruh, like, why are you doing this? Like,
at the same time, like, for that, I kind of feel sorry for him. That seems kind of like kind of.
I felt sad, and they're like, yeah, are you guys creators? And they're like, no, we just make comics. I'm like,
oh my God.
It's so funny, dude.
The puppy was beautiful.
I mean, yeah. Again, I'm sure that person who was in that situation will learn from that. Like, if they ever like find out, be like, okay, maybe that's a bit too far. But yeah, definitely that whole idea of going to your head is.
It's just a game, dude. Like, I saw Illy one day at like one of the parties, and she was like super quiet and like really reserved, and I was like, Illy, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, what do you?
She's great.
Like, what are
Was
you
that the
goddamn
first
doing?
day she came over?
I think it was one of the nights where you guys wanted to go to karaoke and stuff.
Well, to be fair, we are talking about animation community. These are like a bunch of introverts.
Oh, my name's Curtrichy, and I'm not part of this. I
never said that.
I know, but it's like,
Wow.
it's again.
Rewind the tape.
It's like, I'm Curt, and I'm the god.
No, don't fucking put me on that.
Alright,
Don't
okay,
even.
You know what? Since you're roasting Curt, I'm gonna roast you, man.
Oh no,
Yes,
dude, I'm doing it for a
yes.
meme. Don't be.
Nah,
don't be
it's
rude.
too late now. You've dug your own grave, and I am
I
definitely
regret that. I regret
chipping
that.
in on this.
So, Mads hits me up, and he's like, "Hey, Maaz, I want to go to karaoke.
Oh,
Right.
I have.
And
Okay.
he's like, hey, you know, I want to go with your crew. You know, you, Rush, Laddi. We're gonna have a good time. And I'm gonna bring, you know, Tabs and Chili, and they're keen to go, and I'm getting like other people to come.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that sounds pretty rad. You know, we would love to. They didn't come. They didn't come.
Right.
They just didn't go.
No,
See,
before.
See, my whole
exactly,
scenario,
Laddie.
No,
My
Maaz,
whole
before you
scenario
jump
No,
in.
shut up, Mads.
Maaz,
Shut
before
up,
you
Mads,
jump
okay?
in, there's
So-
two sides to the story. Guess what? Maaz, he hit me with the same line.
No.
And you know what? This is
way.
the last time. At this, like, when
fun, and I wanted to do it
no,
with
listen,
everyone.
listen. When I was sitting there and no one was at the karaoke spot except my group, that's the moment I realized I'm never listening to Mads about plans ever again. Ever again. It's done. Like, he hit us up like, yo, go to the karaoke spot. We'll meet you there. We were there for like an hour and a half. Never showed up. We left.
Okay.
I was like,
felt-
why?
You're making me actually go red. I feel so
Oh.
bad.
Very bad.
Oh.
I feel
Oh,
genuinely
look,
bad. 'cause,
Mads-
No, I'm not.
Leaves you
I'm not.
organizing
this
to like.
wasn't the worst part. Okay, this just showcases how awful I am at organizing. So like that night, I think, like I went to, because I was with Adam and James and Speechy, and we had to go quickly. I think James had to go back to a convention center to like meet up with someone. And then we were gonna like head back and do the karaoke, and I was like, "Oh, guys, do you want to do karaoke? Are you down for that?" So like, I was telling them like, "Oh, I think like a few people are doing that. Are you guys down as well?" Not realizing how many bloody people I said, "Do you want to come to karaoke?"
We had enough room for
and then
all of you
I
people.
went back, and then like when we got in an Uber, went there, and then we went up to the desk. We're like, "Oh, is no one here yet?" So we went up to the desk. And we're like, "Oh, hey, could we get one of the rooms?" So like just to prepare for whenever people come. And we're like, "Sorry, all the rooms were full." And I was like, "What?" And then as that happened, I saw like someone, I can't remember who, but like from the beach day just outside, and I was like, "What? Wait, what's going on?" And then it clicked in my head, and like I genuinely like did a face palm, and I was like, "Oh my god, I told too many people about this." And then I saw Rush, and I was like, "Rush, what's going on? Why is everyone here?" And then I
Because
realized
it's my house. There's like
I
11
invited
people.
everyone. And then I was like, "Oh my god!"
And you know what?
And I felt
And you know
so bad. And I was apologizing to James and Adam, and I felt really.
And you know what? When you left with Speechy and James, something in my heart of hearts is like, this isn't gonna work out. But I was like, no,
I didn't realize.
Yeah,
I'm
deep
sorry.
down,
I'm
I
sorry.
was
You
like,
guys still had fun, right?
this isn't
You guys
gonna
still had
go.
fun at the karaoke.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was still like a solid time.
I felt really
but
bad
I
when
only
ruined
came
everything.
there. I only came there because you asked me to. I wanted to do it with y'all. I was
I wanted to
Speechy
do it with you as
texted me
well.
because I was handling everyone getting into the rooms because we had a lot of people there, and Speechy texted me and was like, "Yo, like, what are you guys waiting for?" I'm like, "What are we waiting for? What are y'all waiting for? Where are you at?" And getting everyone into the rooms became a hassle because we didn't know who was coming and who wanted to see who.
The whole night was a mess. Like I just felt.
We ended up just
like,
going
so
back to our
terrible.
house, but it
Yeah,
ended
and
up
to be
being
honest,
a really
that was
fantastic
really
night.
fun at your house. That was really fun.
Was that the night?
Let
Yeah,
me
that was a good time.
let me add my like little part, and Laddie can join in with this
for it.
because that morning, right,
Mhm.
we're like making plans. That's what we do, and every morning we make plans and stuff about what we're gonna do for the rest of the day. And so we're like, yeah, we're gonna go to VidCon, and then Laddie says, hey, after VidCon, let's do karaoke. Let's meet up at the house after VidCon.
Uh-oh.
Let's meet up at the house after VidCon. I'm like, yeah, cool. We can then go to like karaoke from the house. That makes complete sense. We are so brilliant, Laddie. Oh my god.
Because I had thought since like the past like 3 nights before you were off doing whatever, and like we couldn't
No,
get in
no,
contact
alright.
with you again. So I was like, oh, maybe he's just not gonna come. So I'm like,
So-
should we just?
And so we were like,
So Curt and Mads. No. I'm gonna tell the story.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
right.
So like we're gonna meet them at a specific time. I think it was like 6:00.
Mhm.
We're gonna be at the house at 6:00, and then we're gonna go to karaoke. And I'm like, all right, cool. And so I go to panels. I do my own thing, and it's like 5:30, and I'm like, all right, time to go home. And so I grab an Uber, and I'm going home, and it's like 40 something minutes away, right? And I arrive at the house 6:15, and I felt awful. I was like, oh man, I'm 15 minutes late. I step into the house, the Wi-Fi connects, and I get all these messages from Rush and Laddi that are like, why don't you ever have connection, okay? Where are you? We're going to go from VidCon to the karaoke
Oh
place. And
my
I'm just
God.
like, wait, I thought we were going to meet at the house. I spent like $50 coming to the house. What?
That's why we didn't want to go to that.
And
house. It
they're
was
like-
closer to the VidCon place. I was like,
Well, but listen, I was just like,
Mars, it might have
I was
been,
just following the
it
original
might have
plan.
been like a safe protocol to look into see if you could get some sort of package for your data.
Yeah, maybe next year I'll do.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
I should.
No, it's
Listen.
but I mean, apart from
Dude,
that
get
whole
a-
mishap, I had like VidCon overall was super fun. But like I literally then
It's
I
great
felt,
because-
I felt so bad because even when we were at karaoke, like that was like I was like, oh my god, crap! Like I've ruined everyone's night, and I felt really bad. But you know what? Like we all had a good time anyway at your house, Curt. Afterwards.
Oh yeah.
And,
I thought that was a great time.
And that was really
we
fun.
came back, and then I gave some turtle more juice, and you were like, whoa.
And then you tried climbing a fence. I was running down the street.
It's great. Karaoke now was fun because it's just like. Also, I'm just gonna give this a little quick mention. Laddi went from like slightly aggressive. She's like, "Where are you, Maaz?" to like instantly apologetic when I explained like, "Wait, I thought we were meeting at the house," and she's like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, no,
Sweetie.
Yeah.
no, you idiot! Oh my god, you know." Felt bad.
Well,
Karaoke was fun. It's just like the karaoke place
Yeah.
should have had more songs. I was looking for Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, me
I
too.
wanted
Yeah,
to-
it was very
I wanted to
it was
play-
2010
I
and
wanted to sing
before.
I Write Sins Not Tragedies, and they didn't have it, and then they didn't have like a bunch of other songs.
Why isn't all karaoke places like using the internet now in terms of for their song like library? Surely it should be connected to like Spotify or some sort of
Good.
thing like that. That's
Will
very
this play
silly.
next time? No. No
But
next time for
guys,
that place.
have you guys planned anything for next year or like any ideas of what you want to do? Because
oh,
we
it's
had-
in like a year.
yeah, I know, but we just had the concept. All right, this is just a fantastic concept. So I was speaking to Michael, and Michael had this plan where everyone rents out a house on the
yeah.
same street. So
Yeah.
like it's just a constant hopping from like house
That's
to house,
awesome.
like
That'd
a
be awesome.
That
giant-
actually sounds so
That-
cool.
We'd
That
have to
sounds
do
really
that
cool.
like in the
Yeah.
next months.
Yeah,
if
we gotta
we
do that
decide
like
to
real
do
soon,
that.
if anything.
That
I'd be
is
down.
such
That would
a
be-
good
that would be fun as
idea.
hell.
Mhm.
You know that Disney
Oh
place?
So
my-
there should be like
okay.
a neighborhood of all of us.
Yeah.
What's
But
up,
we
Ryan?
also
you know that
talk.
Disney place that was like we were looking at, but
Dude,
it's
that's
like
actually
it's
such a
like
good
big,
idea.
like,
We should go
compact
there.
area.
We should.
So guys, okay, so then right next to the
Hey,
okay,
people,
maybe we should-
people listening, don't listen.
yeah, we should. That's what I'm saying.
Alright, alright,
Yeah,
we'll do that as well.
cut this.
They don't know where
We'll
we're talking
discuss the
about.
plans later.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
putting
yeah,
out these
okay,
plans. People are gonna start like, oh, I'm gonna.
But
I
along with
forget
that,
that we're recording
Along-
sometimes.
along with that, so that's apparently the first week of Anaheim, and then the second week, Michael says that we should all, or like 20 of us, should rent out a mansion in the hills.
Oh,
in-
see,
That's what I keep
I'm already
hearing about.
on this. We are because me and Mike were at that. Because
Yeah,
we're part of
I
Jump Cut.
am
People
so
don't know
upset
Jump
that I
Cut is
didn't
like
go.
a group
All right, tell us.
that helps YouTubers and whatnot. Me and my friend Michael J are in that. We invited as many people as we could to the mansion. We're like, yo, and they said they're doing it again next year. So we're like, but if they don't, we should all rent one for after.
So what
Or-
happened? What's the mansion for? What's going?
It was because it was like a retreat for people in Jump Cut, and we invited a lot of people. Emery True was there. We brought Ginger Pale. Tabs was there too. Rude Rhino was there. We brought them all through, but we brought through as many people as we could. But y'all left. So we couldn't. I literally remember calling Mads, like looking at this beautiful view of LA. Like we were in the hills, and I called Mads like, "Yo, like, what are you doing today? Like, is your flight today? Can you come through?" And he gave me the saddest, most depressed. Nah, man, I'm actually at the airport. Like now, I thought he was gonna cry. Honestly, I honestly thought Mads was gonna cry. I was like, "Oh no!" Like,
Maaz went home that same day then. Huh?
Yeah, no, me
Yeah,
and
well,
Maz.
listen, Maz did cry.
Yeah.
He was crying at the
Yeah,
end.
I
yes.
wasn't. I was not crying over here.
I'm not. No, even if you're kidding, I'd believe you.
I
Honestly,
almost cried when I was saying goodbye to Michael because Michael was being really, really nice. He's like being
Man,
super
Mike's a
sweet.
champ, man. He's like the
He's-
nicest guy.
He
I've
is
like
so fucking
honestly,
nice.
honestly,
like,
like
Laddi-
That's awesome.
he's
yeah.
like the nicest
hate
dude
that guy.
I've met.
Maaz, shut up.
I'd smash him.
But even when like when I saw like when Ivan left, Taylor was crying, so I was trying. Whenever I saw someone
Aw.
who was like really upset, I was like, all right, I'll give you a hug. Hopefully, I can help out. Even with you,
Wait.
Laddie.
You just sit
Even
down,
with-
slide to them, and go. So, do you know about the movie Ants?
I want to watch
I'm not,
Ants.
okay,
It'll
I'm
make
not
you
that
feel better.
insensitive.
Wait, Mads, you didn't cry when for me over me?
No,
Dude, no, dude. All right, there's a clip. All
Wow.
right, so in my video,
Don't
video,
come to New
I
York.
have a clip of me going, like giving Curt a hug goodbye, and I literally tap him on the shoulder and go, "Bye, bitch," and then go in for a hug.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
And
We're
then-
just
and
gonna
then
go
Kurt's
ahead
like,
and.
my guy afterwards. Like,
I love leaving. Like when I left, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go now. Bye, guys. And I
I felt really bad. Like,
just left.
yeah,
Laddie was upset.
yeah, Laddie. I think
Laddie was not
I
happy.
think I
You
gave you a hug,
say
Laddie.
goodbye to
I was mad because you guys just up and left, and like we didn't even get a proper goodbye. You're just like, peace, boy, and I was like, what? And then Lauren was playing like this really sad music on the
Yeah, I
piano,
was
and I'm like, you're not helping.
Yeah, she was playing like.
Yeah, it's really funny because I was just like, all right, guys, I'm gonna go now. My Uber's almost here, and I go out. I'm putting my trunks and stuff, and I look back at the house, and Laddie's just bawling her eyes out. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Okay.
I recall running back and giving Laddie a hug. I can't remember.
A lot of people cried at this trip.
Dude,
An
it was
unusual
sad.
amount of
It
crying.
was sad. Well, it's because if you don't know, because the thing I'm worried about is like, well, not really as much anymore, but like in the point where people like where it's like your first impressions of VidCon and you don't know if people are gonna go back or not, you're really unsure like how often you're gonna see these people again, and especially for me where I'm someone who I'm slowly dissolving my current like social like my sort of existing like social life and my education. It's like one of the biggest opportunities to see all the people who I care about, and to like only have that once a week every year. It's just so upsetting.
Well, I mean, you're about to get it twice a week in a hot second.
Exactly.
If anyone didn't know, I am Mads' favorite person on the
They're
planet.
a married
No
couple.
question.
Yeah.
You're one of
No
them.
question.
Not
Aw.
I'm definitely
Excuse
number
me,
one.
I'm right here.
I'm definitely number
Hello.
one.
What about Mars?
Number one.
Wow. Oh, I see.
Kurt,
I said I'm his number one.
You know what, Kurt?
I said
And with
I'm
that,
his
gonna-
number one. Wait,
what do you mean? Don't
No,
put
Kurt,
your
no,
words in my
not.
mouth.
No, it's too late.
Frick you.
I can tell.
All right.
It's too late. I've already set the
But like,
whatever the word
alright,
is.
in general,
All right, so we're gonna take this to end the podcast now. Kurt, screw you.
Kurt is
Um,
never invited back.
oh no.
No, I'm kidding. So before we end, just want to say, here's the fan art. Thank you so much for making all the fan art.
Cheers, boys.
I know it's like slowed down in a bit, and Rush, I know, and I just also want to thank our Patreons. There won't be any mega shout outs, but thank you so much for donating and supporting us with the podcast.
Yo, Mars,
Good
before
people.
we call it a day, do you want to talk
Me.
about our Uber driver?
That's like okay. We'll talk about that for a special clip for our patrons.
Okay. Ooh.
All right. That's it. We're logging off for now.
Yes.
All right. Bye, guys.
See you,
Hey
boys.
guys, thanks for listening.
Later,
Adios.
boy.